Take an overview of the city of Kelowna and you see a lot of trees. About 22% of the ground is covered by our tree canopy, but it's not nearly as good in areas such as the downtown. So in an effort to protect and enhance our tree coverage, a goal has been set to plant 80,000 trees by 2050. But here's the problem. Only 15% of those trees are on city-owned land, so it will take public participation to get over that finish line, which is why a meeting is being held later this month to drum up public support.
The Sustainable Urban Forest Strategy was adopted by the City of Kelowna this summer, and it talks about different strategies we have to manage our urban forest over the next 10 years. But one of the goals is to get 80,000 net new trees in the ground by 2050. That actually means 3,200 trees per year, new trees in the ground each year. So how are we going to get there? So the City of Kelowna has property that they can put trees on, but not enough for 80,000 trees. Right. The rest of us have to be involved in some way. How can we find room? Where can we find places for 80,000 trees?
You need people to say my front yard's okay, or my backyard, or along the lane, or whatever.
Exactly. So whatever way you can figure out, you want to see a bit more trees in your neighborhood.
I noticed when Kelowna Now's offices moved to Landmark, and you look over the city of Kelowna, it actually looks pretty well treed. But is it?
It could be better, certainly in certain areas, especially downtown. You know, the goal is to have a 25% tree canopy basically throughout the city, but the downtown area is more like 10%.
Yeah.
And you go walk down there in the summertime and you notice there's just no shade.
Right.
That's part of the thing. Trees provide us with so many benefits: the oxygen, the coolness that we need when we're living in a warm climate. So.
Right. Already, I believe that program is still out there where I can buy a tree for $50, right? Which is, I guess, subsidized by the city to plant on my home property.
That's right. It's called Neighborwoods, and you can order a tree in the summertime. They have usually 6 varieties that are suitable for the city that will function well here. And you order it in the summer or pick it up in the fall and plant it in the fall, because that's the best time for us to plant trees here because of our hot summers.
Right. Okay, a couple of good examples here. We're looking down, what are we on here?
It's Marshall Street.
Marshall Street, and not a lot of leaves right now, but in the summer this will be all leafy and shaded.
It is. You can see along the side all the boulevard trees, as well as the trees that are on private property. But the boulevard trees are the ones that I want to focus on, because this is a beautiful street, comfortable to walk in the summer. When you're looking at other neighborhoods, like for example down Rockcliffe Avenue here, what do you see? You don't see a lot of street trees. And so that sidewalk on both sides is pretty warm to walk on.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice to have this same scenario down this street? And so you look at the street that you live on. What's it like? How many street trees do you have? What's it like to walk down the sidewalk or bike along your street? Is
Right.
it comfortable?
So 80,000 trees. And as we were discussing earlier, that means probably planting more than 80,000, because you're not going to get 100% success. And you got to probably take some down along the way.
Well, that's the thing. With all our developments that are happening, we're losing trees. So here's another good thing that the city is doing now. They now have the requirements when you are doing a development to submit a landscape plan. And the landscape plan has to include a specific number of trees, big trees, medium-sized trees, small trees, but depending on the size of the development. And so we're actually getting more trees planted when, say, a developer comes in, takes out a single-family unit and puts in a fourplex. There's a requirement for trees around that,
right.
And sometimes boulevard trees as well. So the city is doing its part in a much better way than they used to get trees in the ground. But the rest of us need to be involved too, because 78% of our trees are on private property.
Right.
So
good for Kelowna Tree Protectors. You've really kind of got the city more focused on this subject, haven't you?
Yes. I keep thinking that when you know something, you do. When you know better, you do better. And so that's what we're trying to do, is help everybody pay a little bit more attention to the value and the importance of trees in our city, and what can we do about keeping our city as beautiful in 30 years as it is today.
So that meeting is Tuesday, January 21st at the downtown Kelowna Library, 6 p.m.
We don't just report the news, we live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.